point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give. Never gonna give.
So we're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips.
streaming? Under what name? So where are you streaming? Oh, that's funny. I could hear myself, but I couldn't hear you on your stream. Just got done watching Endgame, so I'll get off here so I don't listen to myself, and I'm gonna write up some worksheets. Watch your stream.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? It is time to go and play some video games, yeah? All right. Oh, yeah, and answer some of your questions, too. Yeah, we can do that, too. Yeah, YouTube is free. Everything's free. All right, everyone, get your questions ready. I know you guys have been working hard, working on your study guide. And I thought maybe spend a few hours a day. I think I'll try to stream every single day if I can, starting from today until Thursday, and hopefully that'll help you guys out. I know there's a lot of difficult questions on the study guide. Lots and lots of difficult questions. Today we're going to play this game called Risk of Rain. I don't really know what this game's about, but got really good reviews on Steam. A lot of people seem to like it, so I thought, you know what? Why the hell not? Let's play it. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, well. Nothing in life is free. Nah. There's something called time. Some of the PowerPoints on Unit 1 are blank. Let's see what's going on. I think I know what's going on. Yeah. Here's what you gotta do, guys. So, oh no, why did I do that? So if you see right here, it kind of looks like this, right? You open it up, okay, you open Unit 1, and then you go to like Origins of Constitution, and then you're like, all right, I'm ready to start. And then some of that stuff is like blank, right? Or not. This one's fully functional. Yeah. So it looks like this, right? It's like some of this, like right here, this is like all blank. This is all blank. Why is it all blank? So you can't look at it just like this. You have to go to open with Google Slides. Because there's some settings in there that you need to actually open the file itself in order to see the whole slide. Because there's some like formatting things that you can't preview. So now that we've done that, now we can see all the slides. Give that a try and see if it works. Give that a try, see if it works. Let me know. He's got some sick music in this game. Let's do. That's probably better. Did that work for you guys? Alright, cool. Okay, let me know when you have some questions. I'm gonna start playing. Alright, cool. I don't know anything about this game, but I feel like it's going to be very frustrating. So let's hope I do well. Single player? Alright. Okay. Sure. What? Okay, that's that. Control is to run faster. That's kind of weird. Ooh. I think like it gets harder as you go on, something like that. I can decide to buy one of these things. How do I get it? Is there like a double jump or something? Your attitude entering a game is like me entering any of my classes. What's that? Oh, sick. Ah! Oh, nice. Boom. It's weird that control is sprint. That's kind of weird because, you know, you play games mostly... Oh. I don't know what I just bought, but whatever. Your money on the top left? Yeah, I know that. I don't know anything about anything. I don't ever, like, watch tutorials and I just jump into it. You know? Just get in there. Boom. Okay, so you can't sprint while you shoot. What is going on? Oh. Starting to get a little harder now. Ah! This game's co-op, Paul, so if you want to play, dude. It's like 20 bucks. It got like crazy, stupid good reviews on Steam. What is that? Oh my god! Now, do I have to kill every single guy, or can I just run past him? Got you. All right, let's keep going. Rapidly heal outside danger. That's pretty nice. Okay, so you get like items along the way. And it's supposed to help you out, and you can decide if you want to spend the money or not on these. Is there any like sort of direction where I'm supposed to be at? What the hell is that? Uh-oh. Oh. That's a little scary. Okay, that guy wasn't that bad. I thought that was a boss fight already. It's like a mini boss. No headshots in this game. What's up, Dimple De Luna? Random offer to Shrine of Chance. What does that do? Personal shield generator. That's true. You're right. I don't know, but I'm gonna get Mordhau tomorrow. I'm gonna go chop off some heads, dude. I'm on medium difficulty. I wonder what hard difficulty's like. am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to go up here? Whoops. Oh, you're right. It does say easy. Think we're supposed to go over here? What is that thing flying over there? Oh, nice. Alright, I'm down for that. Oh, you don't have to hold it. You can just press it once. Find and activate the teleporter. Okay, that's the only task we got. Where was this to go? There's fall damage? Oh, shoot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This just got a lot more intense all of a sudden. Okay, that thing's healing me. I keep thinking something's shooting me from behind. What is that? What is that? Ow. Ow. No! No! What the hell? Oh, sick. Haha. Gain temporary flight. Oh, that's kind of cool. I want that. Heal or temporary flight? Woohoo! Oh, this is sick. Wow, that guy's really hard to kill. Maybe he's supposed to catch... No, catch them? I don't think so. I think if the game gets easy, then hard, then really hard. Doesn't seem like I'm supposed to go there. Though the map is a little hard to find, to figure out where you're supposed to go. Maybe instead of going up, just go down. Down to the depths. I just realized that R skill stuns them. Totally missed that. Is this where I came from? No, it's not. Top right says find and activate the teleporter. Where did this guy come from? Easy. Subnautica? You play that game? Wow, these things are so annoying. What is that over there? Wait, this is where I was, wasn't it? Oh, you try to clap me. Ow. Where do these guys come from? Oh, it's starting to get hard now. Are these guys taking longer to kill, or is it just me? There's something over there. I think I can fly across over there. What? Let's see. Maybe we'll go this way. Nope. Game told me that's the wrong way. Uh-oh. Ow! Oh my god! Alright, let's try this way. Wait, this is where I started off at. I think it's supposed to go this way. Yeah, get him, turret. Ow. Okay. Oh! The teleporter's right here! Wait, what did this do? Oh. Summons a boss, that's right. Oh my god. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh my god, this game just got so hard. What the heck? Oh my god. This game just got so hard all of a sudden. Okay. Not sure I like this game yet, but let's give it another shot. Is this the same map or it's a different map? I think the difficulty ramps up as you keep playing. Drop a healing orb on kill, that's not bad. I like that robot healer better though. Can I pause? Okay, I could pause. Could you do number 1 on how to explain how democratic ideals are reflected in the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution? Sure. So, first you have to know what's a democracy. And so democracy is like, you know, everyone has equal voting rights. Everyone has rights. Everyone has freedoms that are protected. What else? What else do you enjoy in democracy? So I think that's pretty much in general about it. And so all you have to do is find things in the Declaration of Independence, like all men are created equal. You know, they are. What is the word that they use in the Declaration of Independence? Born with unalienable rights like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that would be evidence of, you know, one of the ideas about how everyone's given natural rights from John Locke. And Thomas Jefferson stole that and put it in the Declaration of Independence. If you're born, you have rights that cannot be taken away, which is what unalienable means. And in the Constitution, highlight some things that, you know, make us a democracy. The fact that we can elect a president, that we have an electoral college that elects the president, that we can elect senators and representatives that that represent our views. The fact that we can vote in general, the fact that we have rights guaranteed to us in the Bill of Rights, like the First Amendment. We all have the freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to assemble. We have rights that protect us from the government. So all these things are democratic ideals reflected in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Not such a hard question. This one's pretty simple if you just think about it just a little bit. But thank you for asking. All right. Okay, I might return this game. This might not be my cup of tea, guys. I might return this game and play a story game instead. The loadout that I had last time was way better. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. There's a teleporter. I think the whole goal is to first, like, kill and loot and then fight the boss. I think that's the goal. No problem, Sydney. And to let you guys know, there is a little bit of delay, more of a delay on YouTube than Twitch. So if it seems like I'm not reading your question right away, it's just probably because of delay. It seems there's about like a 20-second delay. These things that fly, they're really annoying. They just come out of nowhere. Number 12. All right, let's check out number 12. Explain how certain clauses and powers in Article 2 of the Constitution allow the national government to infringe upon state governments' reserve powers of the 10th Amendment. Okay. So, let's think for a second, and I want you guys to help me out too. The 10th Amendment states that powers not delegated to the national government are reserved for the states. Powers not delegated to the national government are reserved for the states. Basically, what the 10th Amendment states is that anything that's not listed in the Constitution is a reserve power, and a reserve power is a state power. Delegated powers are all the powers of the national or federal government. So here we are. What clauses allow Congress to infringe, or what's another word for infringe? To take or go into that realm of state powers. And think about this: states regulate safety, social behavior, marriage, things like that. What clauses could Congress possibly use to justify creating like laws or acts or other things to infringe upon the realm of the states? So think about that for a second. Give me an answer, and work towards it. And if you still don't get it, then I'll explain it again. But today I don't want to just give you guys the right answer, because I want you guys to actually think about it a little bit. Did the big robot come out yet? Oh, hello. Leave my robot alone. Alright, Jocelyn, we'll do number 3 on Unit 4 in a sec, but let me see if Dimple understands what I asked her first. Come on, give me something good. What is that? Chance to fire a missile. Okay. Oh, damn, that thing's pretty strong. Increases attack speed. Huh. Can you repeat the question? Yeah, sure. So think about clauses in Article 2. Article 2 is all about Congress, right? And then we think about the 10th Amendment. 10th Amendment is powers not delegated to the national government are reserved for the states. So think about what's listed in the Constitution. That's all national government powers. The 10th Amendment says that powers not delegated to the national government are reserved for the states. So states have something called reserve powers. States' reserve powers are all about protecting safety of its citizens and regulating social behavior, like what you can and cannot do in public, like marriage, like can you pee in public, things like that. DUI, and so the government, national government, has used certain clauses, right? You know that there are a few certain clauses that Congress has that they've used in various court cases that we have studied. What clauses are those? And then once you understand what the clauses I'm asking for, I think you can understand how to answer that question. Vanessa, I will, but I want you to try something first. You can rewind this video to the beginning. Move fast out of combat. I want you to rewind the video because you can rewind these broadcasts. And so if you didn't understand something or you didn't hear it and you need to repeat, you can always just rewind it and listen to me again. But if you can't find it, I'll repeat it again. Oh! Shoot. That's kind of cool. Oh, and Dimple, make sure you give me an answer, so I can understand if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, while Dimple's doing that, let's do Jocelyn's question for number 3 on unit 4. Explain how. Oh, sorry. Explain how globalization has shifted the ideology of American citizens. So, if you remember what globalization is, you should be able to understand this question. Globalization is when we are exposed to different cultures around the world, and the fact that we are exposed to different cultures around the world, how does that affect someone's ideology? Okay, so think about this. You see a video where women in the Middle East, they can't go out in public with a man accompanying them, and they can't show their faces, so they wear a headscarf. Because it's indecent for a woman to show their face in public. Only their husband can see them. So things like that, how would that change your ideology? What is the impact of that? Or you see, what else? North Koreans like bowing down to Kim Jong-un and calling him, the chosen one. How does that impact your ideology? How does that shift your ideology? That's what globalization is. Does it make it more liberal? Does it make it more conservative? Think about those things. Okay, I think we got everybody's questions so far. Awesome. Good job, Vanessa. And don't forget, guys, we're only doing Unit 1 tomorrow, not Unit 4. But I know Jocelyn's working ahead of time, which is a good thing. Means she's done with Unit 1. Remember, when you guys answer the question, to answer the prompt. Don't just define things that are in bold, because if you do that, you're not going to get a 3. You're going to get a 2. Gotta answer the question. Dimple, did you find out what clauses those were? I gotta know, girl. Okay, back to the game. Oh, straighten up my chair. Ooh, more chests. So I think the goal of the game is to go around, find chests, get ready for the boss. Only thing is I'm not finding very many. Oh my god. That guy came out of nowhere. Ow. Oh, I totally missed that. Is this thing stationary or does it move? No, it's stationary. What did that do? Oh, critical strike for 8 seconds. That's sick. Okay, I think that's what I need to kill this boss. Where is the teleporter again? Damn it, I forgot about that. Dude, I forgot where the teleporter was. Darn it. I remember it was really close. Oh, I think it's up here. No. Wait. Oh, there it is. Alright, let's give this boss another try. Ooh, crap. Oh, I got him. Nice. Oh, crap. Starting to get intense. Enter the teleporter. Get to kill all the creeps inside. What the hell is this? Okay, so it's like a harder level. Oh shoot, this is crazy. $92, huh? Let's go get that chest. Chance to bleed? That doesn't seem very good. Okay, so teleporters teleport you to the next level. The heck is that? Lunar coin? Ooh. Flashbang. Got that right. Let's just go for the random one. What? I already have that. So in about like 30 to an hour, I'm gonna probably get off, guys. I'm not gonna stream that long tonight because I want to get a good night's sleep, and then I gotta watch Game of Thrones with my girlfriend. So I can't be streaming till like 10 p.m. tonight. It'll just be a short stream, so make sure you guys get all the questions you need by the time I get off. Does anyone else watch Game of Thrones in here? Like the best show ever, guys. Ooh, chest. Drop a war banner on leveling up, giving you great strength. I level in this game? What's my level? Level 10. Oh, I do level in this game. Oh. Gotta go find more items. Nobody cares. I have to beat Jackie and Gabriel. You will beat him, don't worry. I believe in you. Number 12 for Unit 1. Vanessa, that's the one that Dimple asked. Okay. Let's do it again. Explain how certain clauses and powers in Article 2 of the Constitution allow the national government to infringe upon the state government's reserve powers of the 10th Amendment. So, the 10th Amendment states, powers not delegated to the national government are reserved for the states. So, delegated powers are all the powers in the Constitution. Reserve powers are, anything that's left out, it's given to the states. Those are called reserve powers. So, the state may, regulate gun safety, might regulate the safety of its citizens. It might regulate, banks and stuff. It might regulate, what you can and cannot do in public. It might regulate if you can have anal sex or not in the privacy of your own homes. It might regulate, if you can pee in public or not. What are the penalties for that? So everything that's not in the Constitution, the state should have powers over. And so it seems like we're not getting this question, and the fact that Dimple hasn't gotten back to me yet is worrying. So here it is. Okay, it says certain clauses, right? The Commerce Clause and the Necessary and Proper Clause. Those two clauses allow the national government to step into what would be usually the realm of state powers. Just take, for instance, remember Gibbons versus Ogden with the steamboat licenses. That whole entire Supreme Court case was all about, can the national government even grant a steamboat license? This is something that should be left up to the states. Or else, why do we have federalism? Why do we even have a state government if the national government can step in certain cases? And the Supreme Court said in Gibbons versus Ogden, well, yeah, they can step in because they're using something called the power to regulate interstate commerce, also known as the Commerce Power. They also, in McCulloch versus Maryland, the national government created a national bank in Maryland. We also questioned, can the national government do that? That's not a delegated power. It's not listed in the Constitution. But then the Supreme Court said, hey, wait. Well, they can because of the Necessary and Proper Clause. They have power of the purse. And if they have the power of the purse, well, then they can actually create a national bank because it's an implied power. An implied power is a power that's based off an express power or an enumerated power that's listed in the Constitution that helps it do its job. So power of the purse, things like taxing and lending money and borrowing money, well, all of those things would be helped with a national bank. So therefore, it's constitutional to create a national bank. So those are just two examples of clauses and powers in Article 2 that allow the national government to infringe upon state powers or the reserve powers. Okay, there you go, Vanessa, Dimple, anyone else that's needed. I just end up answering because I don't think we got it and I got worried. For number 8, are we supposed to type down all the checks and balances? Yes. Yes. They're not that many. I think there's like about 4 for each. No, not even. Right? We have what? Impeachment for Congress on judicial and the executive branch. We have veto. We have overriding a veto. We have judicial review. We have power of advice and consent, which is the approval of appointments. So yeah, you got to know all of them. You got to know all of them. Okay. Keep working. I'm not having that much fun with this game. I don't know why this game got such great reviews. It's not that fun of a game, to be honest. Maybe it's just not my cup of tea. I don't know. Who shot me? Oh, I get stronger when I level. Give me a moment. I have many questions. Alright, ask him away. I should not have done that. Alright, where am I gone yet? Dude, I already got that. Oh my god, I knew that. I was just scared. He thinks. What are you scared about? What are you scared about? Can you explain number 2, but the pluralist democracy when it talks about models? Explain how different models, sure, are visible in the U.S. Constitution. So pluralist is when you have different groups in government that have significant amount of power, and they work together to they're able to work together. Okay, so like if you think about participatory, it's every citizen participates in the government and democracy. In a pluralist democracy, people are sorted into different groups, and that's how democracy works. And then in an elitist model, you have people who are, the most knowledgeable, represent people's visions. They're like the best of the best, and they're the ones that have the power in government. So the pluralist model is different groups competing for power in government. So how is that visible in the U.S. Constitution? Well, you have what is it? Interest groups. Wait, that's not the Constitution. Give me a second. You have why is my mind drawing a blank? In the Constitution, I guess in the Constitution, it would be the separation of powers in each branch. It would be the legislative, executive, and judicial branch broken into 3 different groups. Also with yeah, in the Constitution, that's all there is for the pluralist model. You got Congress, you got the Supreme Court, then you have the president and his executive officials, and that would be the different ways for a pluralist democracy. Now, pluralist democracy is applied to a lot of things outside the Constitution. They are, but they're not listed in the Constitution. That's the thing, Dimple. That's why I was gonna say something like that, but I realized that this question is just all about the Constitution. Now, I think the pluralist model, the reason why you having the most trouble, and this is the way AP likes to ask their questions, but the participatory model and the elitist model is ones that are most seen in the Constitution rather than the pluralist model, because you see that it's about people electing officials. You see that people have the power to vote, and that's a very participatory model. But if you look at senators itself in Congress, those people weren't elected yet at the beginning or the creation of the Constitution. So the fact that they weren't elected shows that that is an elite model. It's an elite model. Because it wasn't until the 17th Amendment was passed that senators were able to be elected. That wasn't until the early 1900s. But before then, the U.S. Constitution, if you look through it, you're like, oh, senators are appointed by state legislatures. That shows an elite model of representative democracy. And the fact that people can vote for people in the House of Representatives, the representatives in the House, and they also can vote for the president, that shows a participatory model. But pluralist model would be very difficult to see. The only thing I see is that different groups vying for power, legislative, executive, judicial branch. That would be my answer to that one. Okay, stellar. Okay, guys. Sage, hurry up. Ask some questions. I gotta go find this thing. I want to go to like the second boss at least and figure out if this game is actually that much fun. Haven't I explored yet? Don't rush me. What did I just buy? Oh, big chest. Dealing damage heals you? Oh, that's so good. Fake glasses. What do you mean fake glasses? They're real. You can see them. Nothing fake about these. Yo, equivalent to pi. How's it going? Dude, I don't know how you could die with this perk. It heals you as you attack. Let's see how much it heals you. Damage me. Hit me. This thing is retarded. Hit me. What's up, Mariah? Okay. They're doing like no damage to me. No, no, shoot me. Shoot me. I want to see how much I heal. There we go. Oh, I guess it's not that much. I gained a level. Can we write it? I mean, if you want to write it, I don't mind. Writing's usually better, but I know some people are splitting up the work, Gabby, so I don't mind if you guys print it. Can you explain 7 aka help me find the answer? Sure. Explain the compromises deemed necessary for adoption and ratification of the Constitution that represented in the Great Compromise and the 3/5 Compromise. The Great Compromise, remember, is the joining of two compromises. That was the New Jersey plan, and then it was the Virginia plan, right? You put them together, we got the Great Compromise, right? And so go figure out what those were. And then the 3/5 Compromise was that issue about representation in the House of Representatives. How many people should each state get? How many people, I'm sorry, in the House of Representatives, do we count just free people? Do we count slaves? And so that was the 3/5 Compromise, that we count slaves as 3/5 of a person. This game is giving me a headache. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it, guys. Does this game look fun to you? I'm kind of whatever's about it. So, I think you're talking about the New Jersey plan, right? The New Jersey plan's like, we should base representation in Congress with one house based on equality. Well, the problem with that is, big states with big populations are, undermined because, they have bigger population, they should have more power. And then the Virginia plan was saying, we should be, representation should be based on population, because bigger states should have more power. We have more people, we should have more representatives because we have more people in our state. So how do you fix this problem? You have the Great Compromise, or also known as the Connecticut Compromise, where you join both of those ideas, and then in the Constitution we have split up Congress into two houses, one based on equality, which is the Senate, and one based on population, which is the House of Representatives. And in the Three-Fifths Compromise was all about the House of Representatives. Well, if we're going to do that, then do we count slaves, or are slaves not counted? And so they decided on, we'll count slaves as 3/5 of a person. Well, these are supposed to prevent me from having a headache because they're supposed to block the blue light, Sage. Were there any incidents in number 6 other than Shays' rebellion that showed the Article of Confederation's weakness? That's the only specific event for it was the centralized military power, because they couldn't raise an army. Well, the other one is just that, the reason why they couldn't raise an army is because they don't have taxes, right? So it's one event that led to different weaknesses, right? They couldn't raise an army. They also couldn't conduct government because they don't have taxes, right? There's no money in government because they can't tax anything. So the government's really, really, really weak. Didn't really have any power. Couldn't really do anything. Remember, guys, it's not enough to just answer the bullet points. Remember, that only gets you a 2 max. You have to answer the prompt, okay? It's like, for example, number 10 says, explain how the needs of society encourage the federal government to step into the state's realm by using mandates, categorical grants, and block grants. Like that. Like, if you just tell me what a mandate is, and you tell me what a categorical grant is, and you tell me what a block grant is, that's going to get you a 2. Okay? You have to know how to answer the prompt using those 3 things. Explain how the needs of society encourage the federal government. Well, mandates allow the government to step in by doing this. And here's an example of a mandate doing this. Categorical grants also allow the government to step in by doing this. Okay? So I need you guys to understand the question. Neat. Who is equivalent to pi? I wonder. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know whose username that is. I forgot. Where am I supposed to go? Came from this way. I should probably go this way. In 10, I know that all those government funding, but what was the difference? Well, that's very key. Go take a look at the notes, Sage, before you ask a question. Because in the federalism notes, it lays out exactly what they are. Cool, cool. I don't know what I just got. Man, there's a lot of people here. Woo! Sweet. Dude. I've had these already before. This item drops suck. Hey, Mr. Robot. Man. Where is the teleporter? This guy's so accurate. Alright, where is the shrine? I just want to get this boss over with. Oh, found it. Let's just get this over with, dude. Wait, is he not dead yet now? See, if the whole game was like this would be a lot more fun. Die. Still 99%. Why? Oh. Hello. Beat the boss. Did this game bug out or something? What were the notes for Unit 1 called? I posted all the notes, Sage. On the link. Remember that? Time travel number 9. Understand the arguments for Federalist 51. Explain how Federalist 51 provides arguments about Constitution provisions of separation of powers and checks and balances control abuses by majorities. So let's go take a look at Federalist 51. Guys, I'm done with this game. This game is boring. I'm gonna freaking get a refund. Yeah, I'm gonna explain that question in a second. But first, let me get a refund for this game because that was really boring. I opened the game again. God damn it. I love that Steam has this refund thing that you can do. Wait. It's not what I expected. I'd like to request a refund. It's not fun. Not as fun as I thought it was. Haha. Alright. There we go. Okay. So let's take a look at Federalist 51. So let's find some of the key parts in here. Let's take a look at the second paragraph. In order to lay a foundation for the separate and distinct exercise of different powers of government, which to a certain extent is admitted on all hands to be essential to the preservation of liberty, it is evident that each department should have a will of its own, and consequently should be so constituted that the members of each should have as little agency as possible in the appointment of the members of others. Were this principle rigorously adhered to, it would require all appointments for the supreme executive, legislative, judiciary, magistrates should be drawn from the same fountain of authority, the people, through channels having no communication whatever with one another. Perhaps such a plan of constructing these separate points would be less difficult in practice than it may in contemplation appear. Some difficulties, however, and some additional expense would attend to the execution with some deviations. Therefore, from the principle must be admitted in the Constitution. The Judiciary Department, in particular, it might be extreme. Okay. The refunds help with games that are pretty much scams for more money. At least that's one way I view it. That's also just, allows people to buy more games that they wouldn't because they don't want to, some people are very scrapped on cash. What was the question again? Forgot. All right. So here's one part of it. evidence that each department should have will of its own, and constantly should be so constant that each member should have little agency as possible in the appointment with others. That's just the introduction. Oh yeah. If men were angels, no government would be necessary. If angels were government, that's the justification for separation of powers and checks and balances, because men aren't angels, so you need to make sure that the structures of government check themselves. So right there, you can find it, right, where it says, if men were angels, no government would be necessary. If angels were to govern men, neither external nor internal controls of government would be necessary. In framing government, which is to be administered by men over men, the great difficulty lies in this: you must first enable the government to control the governed, and then next oblige to control itself. Okay, so there it is. If angels were to govern government, then we wouldn't need any government at all, because there'd just be angels. So you need a government that can actually control itself. Here, this part right here. In Republican, legislative authority necessary predominates. The remedy for this is to divide the legislatures into different branches and render them by different modes of the election. So here's a argument saying that Brutus 1 also argues that the legislative branch is too powerful, Congress is too powerful, it can create laws. And here's the answer to that. Well, we're going to split the legislative branch into two, and those two houses inside the legislative branch, the House of Representatives and the Senate, are going to check each other, and that will make them able to control majority factions better. And yeah, those are some of the reasons. I'm not going to go all of them, because that's going to take a long time. But you can also didn't we do a long time ago certain passages and questions to those? I know you should still have it on your Google Drive. We submitted it online in semester 1. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. Let me check. But you should have it, and you should have the answers to it. That's why I said create a folder for AP Gov. You should have it still. Yeah, it was this one right here. Yeah, I gave you guys like very specific ones because I didn't want you guys to read the whole thing. So what I would do, equivalent to pi, is I would check these quotes that I handpicked and use it for that question. And so then you don't have to read the entire Federalist 51, which is really long and really hard to understand. All right, keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. I wish sometimes that I actually wore glasses, because I think I look very intelligent with glasses. I'm like a smart guy. I look like a smart guy with glasses. Let's take a look at some of these questions. What are some questions that I think are difficult? Surprisingly, no one's asked me about Brutus 1, so I'm going to take a guess that we understand Brutus 1, and no one's really asked me about Federalist number 10. Neat. Okay, neat. Who says neat? Hi, Mr. Wynn. Could you explain number 4, please? Oh, Jess has about to say that. Explain how Madison's arguments in Federalist Number 10 focus on the superiority of a large republic in controlling the mischiefs of factions, delegating authority to elected representatives, and dispersing power between the states and national governments. Okay. So the first part of this is very easy. This is the argument that we always use, right? Large republic, lots of people, lots of different opinions and views and ideas and passions, he says. And so when you have a large republic with that many different ideas, it's really hard for a majority faction to arise. And so what is a majority faction? A faction is a bunch of people that agree with each other, and they use that agreement to create a majority of people, and that would, they would always vote the same way, right? And so the mischiefs of faction, and what he means by that is like, okay, here you have a faction, they are the majority, and they're going to be scheming maybe, and they might always get their way because they're a majority. And so Federalist Number 10 argues, well, if you're scared of that, if you're scared of this mob rule democracy, then just let you know that in a large republic, it's really hard for that to happen because you have so many different opinions and views and stuff like that. It's a pluralist democracy, lots of different groups, so it's not going to be easy for a majority faction to arise. Also, Federalist Number 10 also argues that this is why you have representatives in which you have representatives in which the people elect and people that are appointed, right? Remember that you have a House of Representatives, which is elected by the people, and you have the Senate, which is not elected by the people, but is appointed, and these are the highest class of people in society. They are the best people in society. They are the most knowledgeable, most intellectual. So the fact that we have a representative, House of Representatives that's elected by the people, and we have a Senate, it's really hard for a majority faction to take over because they're not the ones that are voting. It is the representatives and the senators that are voting, and those people are above majority factions. They are above mob rule democracy. They're the ones that make the decisions, and they aren't going to be swayed by a majority faction. This is more of like an elitist and a pluralist argument. Okay, let me know if that makes sense, Elizabeth. Number 3, explain the debate between Federalist Number 10 and Brutus Number 1 reflect the tension between broad participatory model and the more filtered participation of the pluralist and elite models. So Brutus 1 makes that argument, right? If you remember, that if you have a small republic, meaning like a state, right? If you have a small state, then it's really easy for a broad participatory model to work. Broad meaning like anybody can participate in government. And so what that is, it's like, okay, we have a bunch of people, we're from the same state, we're from the same localities. So how does that make us a better republic? Well, we're going to agree a lot more. And if we're going to agree a lot more, government's going to work better because it's going to move faster. It's not going to be so much gridlock. It's not going to be so much debate, and it won't be as slow. And then Brutus 1 says that, well, in a large republic, it's going to be really slow, right? Too many different ideas. It's going to clog up government. It's going to retard the functions of government. And then Federalist Number 10 argues what we've all been talking about. It's like, no. In a large republic, it's better because the same arguments in number 4. You have elected representatives. These are the best types of people. They're going to make the best type of decisions. Then you also have the Senate, who's appointed, and these are like the elites. They're the smartest people in society, especially in a large republic that's so big, right? It's so large. you're gonna find the best of the best, and those are gonna be like our senators, right? The elites. And if we have elites and elected representatives that we all trust, then we have a very, very good republic that won't make mistakes and won't fall prey to majority factions or the mischiefs of factions, as he says. And he also says that a large republic is going to have so many different beliefs that it's so many different beliefs, so many different ideas and passions. You want that, right? You want government to actually slow down so that you can't just pass these willy-nilly corrupt laws that you could in a small republic, because everyone agrees with each other. It's so much easier for a majority faction to arise in a small republic. So those are the two arguments with each other, and replay that again, rewind it back, because I know I said a lot, and really listen to the argument. I can't ask any questions because you won't answer them. No, I can ask questions, but you have to understand, I want to see that you tried to answer them first instead of me answering them for you. What are some modern examples of Federalist 12? 12. And Brutus 1? What question is that? Is that just you asking me? Modern examples of Federalist 10 and Brutus 1. So the arguments in Federalist 10 talk about pluralists and elite models being the best. So then you would look to political parties and interest groups, labor unions, and super PACs, and all these different groups that affect the function of government. If you think that if those groups are good and they make great linkage institutions, then they would be a great example or a positive example of pluralists or elite models, right? And especially the senators, right? They are the prime example of an elite model, because they used to be not elected, but appointed, and it wasn't until the 17th Amendment was when they were elected. A modern example of Brutus 1 would be like some states have, including ours, has a direct democracy initiatives where actually citizens can put laws on the ballot, or citizens could actually vote for laws that their state legislature wants to pass. So we in turn are a broad participatory model, because we actually can affect the laws. It's not just lawmakers, but we vote on laws in California. And we can actually come up with our own laws in California and put them on the ballot. And so that's an example of a participatory model that is modern today. Sydney says, okay, and then a slanty smile face, which means that she's sad. Why are we sad? Why are we sad? I want the world to know. Well, let's just play some stupid game while we wait for more questions. How you guys feeling about the final tomorrow, huh? You guys feeling pretty stressed out? Pretty confident? You ready to go? What the hell is this? Spinners? How do I play this game again? Oh yeah. Scroll to. Oh, we're gonna mess with fidget spinners today. I see. Okay. Lower, lower, lower. Grab it. Come on. Come on. I don't know the volume for this game. It's so much to remember. Yeah, it is. Just like the AP exam is so much to remember. Let's put on some music. What if a group member doesn't show up? Well, then you're going to have to take it as 3. They'll still get the same points you get. But there's going to be, instead, like 2 teams. It will be 2 teams with 1 B, right? So, like, Sydney, if your group only has 3, right, and you're the B, you're going to be the B for both teams, right? So, whoever your first partner is, they'll go, you'll cover them, and then the next team will go, then you'll cover the next person too. That's the only way 3-man teams work for this. It's better to have 4, but hey, maybe you're a superstar. The opposite of good is how I feel about the final. Dude, I love this new Weeknd song with SZA and Travis Scott. I can't pick up anything. What the hell? Infringe? Infringe means to like encroach. Or interfere, or like actually take some of their powers. Ha! Pepe hands. Wee. Why don't we just go on Google and look up the definition, right? Infringe. Actively break, no. Act so as to limit or undermine something. Encroach upon. Hey, that's the word I use. Let me give you an example of infringe. Let's say it's like, let's say Sienna has the rights to the computer from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Your mom gave her the rights, but at 9:30 you kick her off and then you go on the computer for 15 minutes. You just infringed upon her computer time. Oh my god, another big word. Yeah, get used to it. You should start to learn big words. It's good for you. Can I grab this palm tree? I can't lift up the tree, huh? Damn. Hey, check this out, guys. Rock on, dude. Check this out. Boom. All right, enough of this. All right, 8:30. I'm getting off. Then you guys are on your own. So ask your questions now. Oh, I feel so sorry for you guys who have to wear glasses. Poggers. Anyone watch Endgame yet? I literally haven't watched Endgame yet. I can't find tickets at all. They're like all sold out. Can you explain number 10? Now, before I explain number 10, Lisbeth, do you know what mandates, categorical grants, and block grants are? And where you can find them? And what notes to look for them in them? And by the way, guys, if the notes are showing up blank for you, then this is what you need to do, right? So you look at federalism. This is where you find number 10, by the way. You go through federalism, right? Oh wait, federalism works. Never mind. If you looked at something like deep dive, see how like some pages are blank right here? And the way to get around that is to, oops. It's look at the top where it says open with, and then you gotta open with Google Slides, and then you'll be able to see it. Gonna watch it with a friend this Friday. What does that mean? Is that a bad friend? Like, this girl talks crap behind my back? For number 12. Let's look at number 12. No, that's definitely Article 2. Why do you think it's Article 1? Wait. Whoops. You're right. It is Article 1. Why did I put Article 2? Let me check the... I don't have it with me. Yeah, it should be Article 1. You're right, dude. Let's make that announcement. Equivalent, you are the MVP. Way to look out. See, that's how I know this person has been paying attention, man. Okay, question number 12 on the study guide for Unit 1 should say Article 1, not Article 2. We got debated. There we go. It's been fixed. Hopefully no one got to number 12 yet. Which now I'm scared. I should check all my articles. Not a bad friend, it's because it's just a friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dimple. I'm sorry that you were confusion. $8:24, guys. 6 more minutes. Then I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones. It's the highlight of my weekend. By the way, shout outs to all the people that came on Saturday. Maya, Jeanette, Aaliyah, and Sydney, even though Sydney left early. Hope your dad's okay. You guys did a fantastic job on Saturday. Like, all of you guys. With, explaining to the students, what this class is all about, recruiting and convincing some students to take the class. That was awesome. That was awesome. Hope you guys had fun. Also, for those of you guys that didn't get to go to the Avid dinner, it was very spectacular. I had a lot of fun there. Thank you, Sage, for the shout out and introducing me. That was a good one. Hope you guys liked that I did the shoot in front of all your parents and stuff. I can't open the notes you posted even when I tried to do the connect to other apps. It's not connect to other apps, it's open with. At the top. Open with Google Slides. You have to open it with Google Slides. Don't do connect more apps. Make sure you're logged into your rialtousd.org account. The new episode of Got goes in hard. Yeah, dude. I don't understand 10 on the notes. Yo, can you go over 13, sir? Let's do number 10 first. Alright. And I want you guys to pay attention to what notes we're going to look at. We're going to look at the federalism notes, right? Where are they? There they are. So the question is, explain how the needs of society encourage the federal government to step into the state's realm. Sorry, that should say realm. By using mandates, categorical grants, and block grants. So basically, when the states aren't doing their job, which for the government means not looking out for their citizens, the government's going to try to find a way to infringe upon the state's powers so that they can protect their citizens. And they do this using fiscal federalism. And fiscal federalism consists of mandates, categorical grants, and block grants. So let's go over those three. So how does the federal government get into the state's power? Well, they use something called fiscal federalism. And what you should think about fiscal federalism is here's some money. If you want it, states, you have to do this for us. Okay? And so the first type of grant is a block grant, right? And this is the nicest type of grant that the federal government can put onto states. That's why we have this stupid meme right here. This is from a really old movie. I don't know if you guys seen this meme. It's from this movie called Office Space. The guy's like, yeah, if you could just have it in on Saturday, that would be great. And so that if you could just give me a block grant, that would be great. Because that's what states want. They want block grants, right? Like a very general, non-specific. Okay, we're gonna give you 2 million states to spend on education, as long as it's for education. That's fine. At least we are improving the education in your state. Then we have categorical grants, and categorical grants are strings attached grants, meaning, okay, if you want this funding for education, we're only going to give it to you if you use it to hire teachers. That's the difference between categorical and block, right? Block would have been like, here's some money, use it for education. Categorical grants are like, here's some money, you have to use it to hire more teachers. Have to hire more teachers. Okay, and then there's some other examples here. Like, for example, when the national government wants to push social reform, right, they also and we didn't really write this down because back then I was trying to do a different set of notes, but it was like, okay, look, we just passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. You guys still have a desegregation problem. Okay, you guys aren't enforcing it right. Here's what we'll do. If you guys want your education fund for your public schools, well, then you have to desegregate your schools. And if you don't, we're not going to give you any money. But if you do, here's some money, right? On a categorical reason, right? If you do this, you get the money. If you use it for this, you get some money. It's a grant that gives more control to how the states spend it. Last one is a mandate, and a mandate is forced. It is forced. It is punitive. Doesn't have a reward. Usually it is punitive. It's a mandate. So for example, and mandates are bad for states, but sometimes good for people, right? They hinder the states, but are good for people. And sometimes the Fed doesn't actually fund anything. They're just like, look, you guys have to put in ramps in front of all federal buildings. And if you don't, then we're not going to give you any more funding for something else. Or we're going to punish you in a certain way. And so that was an example in the American with Disabilities Act in 1990, right? They forced the states to put ramps in front of every federal building. And if they didn't, then they would get cut funding somewhere else. Okay. And all of these three things, they're to promote safety, the betterment of lives, but all those things are supposed to be a state power. Those are reserve powers. So how does the government get into the state's realm? How does it infringe into the state realms? Well, with three ways of fiscal federalism: block grants, categorical grants, and mandates, right? They punish the states when they don't do something, and this is usually in terms of money. Answer it like that, you'll get a 5. Right? Got to answer the question. The needs of society encourage the federal government to step in, right? What was the need during 1964? Well, the states weren't desegregating their schools, so they stepped in and they pushed a categorical grant. Civil Rights Act of 1964, right? That's a categorical grant. How do you open the notes? Open with at the top. Google Slides. Boom. Opens up Google Slides here. Remember to make sure you log in to your rialtousd.org account. All right. Elizabeth, let me know if that makes sense. Remember, you can always rewind. And here you have it, Sage, your full notes right here. All right, number 13 for Dimple. Dimple, pay attention. Explain how federalism allows for multiple access points for citizens, interest groups, and other organizations. Do we highlight this in here? So I'm just checking if I actually wrote it in here or not. Okay. Multiple access points, meaning you have an access point in federalism because there is national, state, local, right? That means that you have representatives at each part of the way, so that you always have access to the government in different parts of federalism, right? Let's say you have a problem with your school, right? You can write or talk to the political parties or the representatives in your district, right? Your congressional district, or in the legislature, your city legislature, like, the town hall or the mayor of Rialto, right? That's local. And then you have your state. You have your governor. You have your 2 senators, and they're going to represent a different level of problems that you get access to. Then you have national, right? Then you have the president. Then you have the I'm sorry. Wait. Let's go back for a second. Let's go back. I said something wrong. Okay. Local, you got your mayor, Mayor Rialto, right? And then you have your representatives within your city, right? City council, as we call them. City council. Then for the state, you have the state legislature, and you have the assembly, right? Those are like the two, like the state congress that organize and set regulations and rules for your state itself, right? You have the state Supreme Court. So all those things that just respond to your state problems, right? That's the state level right there. And so that provides another access point to government. That's what federalism gives you. And then you have your senators, and your House of Representative members, and that gives you access to national problems, right? And so you have these multiple access points in federalism, more opportunities to get your voice heard, and that's why it's an advantage, right? How does federalism allow multiple access points for citizens, interest groups, and other organizations, right? There's just different geographical areas where you can access them. There's different people you can access to, and there's different types of representation, one for the local, one for the state, one for the national government. Let me know if that makes sense, Dimple. Wow, it's 8:36, you guys. Maybe go 6 minutes over. Okay, last questions. Giving you guys a few more minutes. I'm going to answer one last question. Make it a good one. No, you're not. Wait. Federalist for 13, are we able to use interest groups' involvement in the federal budget process, elections, and lobbying? That's not really a federalism thing, right? Federalism is talking about the different the vision of powers in the government, right? There's the state government, there's the local governments, and then there's the national government. And what you're talking about is just a stage in the process, the electoral process, and then access to for lobbying, it would work, right? Because interest groups can lobby different people, but not the federal budget process. That's only the national. I guess if you're talking about elections for local, state, and national, that would work. Sure, that's an example. Lobbying for interest groups is a good one, because you can lobby at all types of elections for national, state, and local. But the federal budget process is only national. Will you explain Federalist 51? We did that already, but let's try it again. It's going to be the last question of the night before I get off, homies. Explain how Federalist 51 provides arguments about constitutional provisions of powers and checks and balances. So I want you to go back into your Google Drive, Sienna, and look for this assignment. I had it open. Where is it? Federalist 51 assignment. I wonder if that's still locked deep somewhere a long time ago. Probably one of the first assignments we had. Analyzing Federalist 51. Wow, look at that. Yeah, this one. I was thinking of using it for the public hearings. It would work. The problem is, it would work, and I like the way you're thinking, because it's the whole entire unit lends itself to this question. Just don't ramble. Okay, be very specific about why you're using the federal budget process. Don't just start explaining the federal budget process and stop. Remember that you only have 1 minute to answer the question. So if you start going way into depth about the federal budget process, then you're going to waste a lot of time. Okay. I want these to be specific and concise. I don't want them to be just a bunch of ramblings about, other things that, if you had like 10 minutes to explain it to me, sure. Or 5 minutes to explain it to me, sure. But you really have 1 minute. And I don't want it longer than that. Okay. These quotes, Sienna, take a look at them. We looked at this a long time ago, but they're all about what Federalist 51 is about. These are some of the ones that I highlighted myself. So the first one, right, in order to lay a due foundation, separate and distinct, exercise different powers. This quote right here talks about why it's important to have separation of powers, why we need it, right? It's like the intro. And then this one is like, he talks about like how men are not the greatest of people, right? He talks about how like if men were angels, we wouldn't need any of this, but are men really angels, right? Depends on the people, no doubt. The primary control of the government, but experience has taught mankind the necessary of auxiliary precautions. We see it particularly displayed in all subordinate distributions power with a constant aims to divide and arrange the several in such a manner so they may check each other. So this one's about checks and balances and make sure that they can check each other, right? Make sure they're doing the right thing. In Republican legislative authority necessary predominates. This one's all about how the legislative branch seems to be the strongest one, and how do we fix this problem? Well, we split the legislative branch into 2 different bodies, and you should know what those bodies are, and how do those 2 bodies check each other. Was all authorities will be derived and depend on society. The society itself will be broken into so many parts. Interests of class citizens and the right of individuals of the minority will be in little danger. And this is just something that relates to the Federalist number 10's argument. Okay, so there you have it, right? The constitutional provisions of separation of powers and checks and balances control abuses by majorities, provides arguments. So that's how it does it right there. Go back and find that one. And it should still be in your Google Drive somewhere unless you deleted it. And that's why it's very important that we have all of our assignments. Actually, we can check if you actually did it, Sienna, and we can look at your answers. Sienna Gideon, Look at this. If men were angels, there would be no need for guns, since they would have not to show the greatest reflections of human, because angels are heavenly. Look at this. See? You already did this, Sienna. Yeah, it was from a long time ago. It was our first unit. Don't check, though. Too bad, we already did it. You're on stream delay, sorry. Alright. So you hate me. Okay, we don't need to look at this anymore. Okay, let's not embarrass Sienna. Okay, any last questions, people? Any last questions? Any last questions? Who's excited for the final tomorrow? Remember to read how I'm going to score you. If you don't answer the prompt, the max thing you can get, the max amount of points you can get is a 2. Remember to print out your study guide before you get to class. Remember that you can always, there's a 5 points extra credit thingamabobber, where if the group before after you gets the question wrong, you have a chance to gab some extra credit points if you can mention some part of the content that they missed. I'm coming out. I want the world to know that to let it show. Bunkus. Did anyone meet up with each other and worked on it together? That was my hope, that you guys are like practicing and, you know, reciting certain things. You're welcome, Sienna. Anything for you. Alright, Gideon sisters. You guys gotta prove that you're the better team within the group. You gotta do this final with a chip on your shoulder, because when you have a chip on your shoulder, you do amazing things. If you guys didn't know, I've been teaching this entire year with a chip on my shoulder, which is why I've been working so hard. Alright, guys. I hope you the best in your studying. Remember to practice speaking these things out loud, and making sure that you're actually using a loud voice. If I can't hear you tomorrow, I can't give you the points. So those of you that speak softly, start practicing yelling things out. Just yell it out, even if it's embarrassing. Remember, you only have to do this for 2 questions, right? So just blurt it out. You guys got it. I believe in you. Alright. I am out, guys. Have a wonderful night. If studying for a final is a wonderful thing, I mean, it is. You'll have a lot of fun. Can't even say it with a straight face. But you guys are gonna do great tomorrow. Okay, we've been doing this all year long. We've just been doing it, writing it out. Now we're just speaking it. It's no difference, guys. We got this. All right, have a good night. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you all tomorrow.